What's my energy right now? Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling relaxed? Am I feeling excited? Am I feeling happy? I'm sure you can feel it when you're watching this video. So I'd like you to know that it's your energy that actually impacts the outcome of everything that you do. So the productivity that people are trying to achieve nowadays is more about completing a list of tasks. But that's not what productivity is about. It's about getting the thing right rather than getting it done. So today whatever I'm going to show you is actually going to help you get more done but with less effort. And this is an experience that I have had and as my clients have also had as well. So let's close our eyes just for a few seconds and let's take a deep breath in and gently breathe out. A lot of us always have a lot of to-do tasks on our list. We all have a long list of things to do on a daily basis. So today I'm going to talk about how to do them effectively. Productivity is something that a lot of people are challenged with, and it's not about getting everything on your list done, but it's more about how do you do them effectively. Now, this is all about energy management. And when I talk about energy management, I'm not talking about the force with which you're working, but I'm really talking about the internal energy that you're putting towards a certain task. Now, I want you to know that you're always creating in your present moment. As you're putting in energy in whatever it is that you're doing, and remember, I'm not talking about the physical energy. I'm talking about, the energy that people talk about when you get into a room and people feel your energy before you even speak. That's exactly the energy that I'm referring to. So, a very good example is now that I'm recording this video at this point here, how am I feeling? Right? What's my energy right now? Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling relaxed? Am I feeling excited? Am I feeling happy? What kind of energy am I bringing into this video? And I'm sure you can feel it when you're watching this video, isn't it? So this is the same concept that applies to everybody whenever they're doing any task. So think about it. Whenever you're going about your day, what kind of energy do you bring into any task? So I'd like you to know that it's your energy that actually impacts the outcome of everything that you do. So the productivity that people are trying to achieve nowadays is more about completing a list of tasks. But that's not what productivity is about. It's about getting the thing right rather than getting it done, right? So how many things are you really getting done correctly rather than just completing your list? This is what I really want you to reflect upon today. So, when you sit down and you work on a specific task, what kind of energy are you bringing to it? And are you fully centered within yourself before you actually get onto the task? Because what happens is that most of us are always thinking of the thing that we did previously or the thing that we are going to do next. So, here I am today in the same session, I'm also going to be recording a podcast with one of my clients. Now, am I thinking about that podcast or am I fully focused on delivering this video to you here today? So, really think about it. How are you operating on a day to day basis? So, one of the things that I have really been sharing with my clients that has really helped them really increase their productivity or rather improve their productivity is how to break their day down by hours, right? So, for instance, if you are somebody who has specific tasks that you need to complete in a specific day, so, draw up a calendar. So, for instance, from 8 to 9, you're focused on one specific task. 9 to 10, you're doing something different. 10 to 11, you're doing the next task. So, when you do that, what happens? Your mind gets into a state of structure and you're not going to be thinking about the previous or the next because you know that you already have everything lined up one after the other. So in to a large extent your mind is actually at rest. So that's a very physical way of structuring the way you do things, right? But I want to talk about how you can energetically do this, because remember, as I said, it's more about the energy that you bring into a task rather than getting it done. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate to you how you can actually center yourself completely before you begin your day. And I want you to use this method, to use this technique in your day a couple of times a day so that you can become one with yourself. Remember, all the energy that you bring into a task is the one that actually determines the outcome more than the physical effort that you put into it. So, today, whatever I'm going to show you is actually going to help you get more done but with less effort. And this is an experience that I have had, and as my clients have also had as well, because this has helped them actually get the best outcomes with least effort. So let's close our eyes. Now, don't do this if you're driving or if you're engaged in a task that doesn't allow you to close your eyes. But otherwise, you can have a look at it later. So let's close our eyes just for a few seconds and let's take a deep breath in and gently breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathe out again. Now, I really want you to bring all your focus and attention to your body. Just focus on any sensations or any emotions that come up for you. How do you feel? Do you feel any tightness in your chest? Do you feel your throat closing up? Do you feel any kind of anxiety or restlessness? Once you identify that sensation or emotion, I want you to give it full attention. Just completely focus on it. And I don't want you to attach in any meaning to this particular sensation or emotion. It has no meaning until you give it meaning. So keep focusing on it until it completely dissolves. But don't worry if it doesn't dissolve after a few seconds. You can still carry on with the exercise. Once you feel it dissolving, or once you feel it fading away, I want you to focus on your spine. Pay attention to your spine and then bring your focus to your heart. When you bring your attention to your spine and your heart, you're now bringing yourself to your center. As you bring yourself to your center, declare to yourself, I am whole, full, and complete. I have already accomplished everything that I need to accomplish today. It is done. It is done. And then take another deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Then you can open your eyes again and then you can start going about your day. So you can do this at the beginning of your day and you can do this at regular intervals. So what this basically does is it brings you back to yourself. Now you'll see the difference when you go back to your tasks. The energy that you're going to bring into those tasks is going to completely transform. And what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to fully focus on one task at a time. So this is the secret behind the way you manipulate your energy when you carry out a certain task. Because what happens is that when you do it when you're fully centered and focused, you tend to do it faster without you being conscious of it, and you tend to get the best outcomes. There was a time I used to, I mean, look, we are all humans and we forget, right? So I'm not saying I do this daily, but I try as much as possible because there are days, when you feel hurried, when you feel rushed, and you forget some of these techniques. But I try to implement it in most of my days. And this is what happens. If I have anticipated that I'm going to complete a certain task, let's say in the next 2 hours, it actually takes me about 1 to 1.5 hours to accomplish it. This is because I have now centered my energy. I have control of the energy that I'm putting into that task. So remember, you're creating every moment, right? Every reality in your life, every second of reality. So the energy that you bring into whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis is actually going to impact the outcome. Most of us are not even conscious of this, right? Now, the second thing that I want to talk about when it comes to productivity, which is very, very important, is letting go. Letting go is a very key part of nailing productivity. Why do I say this? Because, whenever we do something and then we are thinking of, oh, what's the outcome going to be of the other one that I just completed? Or what's going to come ahead next in my day, right? We are always attached to the outcomes of every task that we are carrying out. A very good example is that, if you're in sales, and let's say you contacted somebody or you had a meeting with them, and then you're meeting your next client or you're carrying out your next task, but you're thinking of what the conversation was about with your previous client, right? Do you think that past energy is going to help you in your current task? Absolutely not. Because the energy that you bring into the current conversation or the current task that you're carrying out is going to be impacted by the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you're having about the previous task. So do not bring that expired energy into the current tasks or meetings or conversations that you're having, right? So letting go is a very big part. Now, another thing I want to mention is that creation is complete, meaning whatever it is that you're trying to achieve already exists. So what you are doing by carrying out your tasks and carrying out any physical movement towards it is you're simply aligning yourself with that outcome, right? So the fact is that it already exists. So you don't need to keep thinking about it. You need to let go, because when we don't let go, we keep looking for results. We keep looking for proof whether something is working or not. What we are simply doing by doing that is that we are sending out a message to the universe saying that I don't trust that this is going to happen, or I'm not really sure, I don't have faith. Is this really going to be happening? Is it true that it's possible? So when you keep checking for outcomes, this is exactly what you're doing. So you need to detach, you need to let go of the outcome. The only job that belongs to you is to give it your best effort. And I just taught you a technique in regards to how you can give it your best effort by manipulating your energy, by being in charge of your energy so that you do that task with the right type of energy. So if you want to be productive, it's not about completing everything on your to-do list. It's more about getting it done right. So if you found this video valuable, make sure you share it in your network. Do get in touch with us if you want to learn further how you can get closer to achieving your goals so we can help you.